So here's the hot topic for what we want to talk about, sustainability. Everything that we do with green needs to be rooted in a sustainability type of setting. What is sustainability? Sustainability is defined by this guy, John Elkington, as harmonizing things. When we're a company, we always want to do things to make money, to save money, to reduce costs, to do all that sort of stuff in the name of the financial bottom line. But what we're seeing today with certain companies, like the EPA and all that, what is your environmental bottom line? Okay? We know when we say the word Exxon, we know about the record profits that they had last year. We know what's going on. When I say BP, what type of environmental bottom line do you think of when you hear that name? Anybody? What's the fresh thing with BP right now? People waiting for their money down in the Gulf, right? The $20 billion set up. Okay? So it's not always about just the money. BP is a very financially secure company, or it was. What is your environmental impact to the planet? How are you making your money? If you're making money by chewing up the environment, there's going to be some consequences there. We talked about the Olympics over in China. China makes everything nowadays, and they make it dirt cheap. You walk out into the store, how much stuff do you think in the store is made in China?
93%.
Do you think that there's an environmental impact to the reduced cost that we get from China? To be able to buy a cup made in China for 9 cents instead of one made in Detroit for $9, what's the environmental impact for that? Did Detroit follow ISO standards? Did they pay their workers better? Did they have a better carbon footprint? All that sort of stuff, okay? From now, we're looking at a movement from just financial to environmental bottom line. And what this is if you look at certain companies and you go on their websites like we had talked about earlier. Xcel Energy is one of the best examples for that. The environmental bottom line of the programs that they're putting together not only have saved you money, but they've reduced your carbon footprint, which has helped the planet. Okay, so that's the second part. Then the third part is your corporate citizenship. And all that is how do you take care of your employees? How do you manage your environment? Are you dumping anything or into the waters? I mean, I guess it would blur a little bit up into this. But corporate citizenship, does anybody know who this is? Who? Madoff. What do you think of him with his corporate citizenship? It's finding a balance to no longer just be about making money. Okay, we had the big boom under the Clinton era where everybody was IPOing and all the companies were going public. There was, everything was great. Making money is king. It's always going to be king. It's always going to be the most important thing to our companies. Once you get to the highest levels of the company, to the boss, it comes down to how much money did we make. From there, okay, did we do our part to try and reduce carbon emissions? Did we do our part to help the environment? Did we do our part to make the world a better place? People talk about life cycles now. When you buy something, what's the life cycle to a cup, especially a paper cup? You're no longer talking about the coffee that you got in it to when you finish it to when you throw it away. That's no longer the life cycle. The life cycle is, where were the raw materials from to make the cup? Who made it? How did it get here? Did it get here on a boat? Did it get here on a tractor trailer that was burning a bunch of gasoline? How did it get here? Where did it come from? What happens to it after it goes in the garbage? Does it just get wrapped in a plastic bag and go into a landfill for a billion years because the plastic bag that it's wrapped in won't degrade, but the cup could if you recycled it? That's becoming part of companies' boards now. They're hiring people as chief sustainability officers to say, you know what, we make the cup, and that's great. We make the cup, all is well, but we need to start looking further down the chain at our suppliers and how are they providing us with the materials. And further, after the cup is used, what's our corporate responsibility to try and get that cup back? Linda's going to talk to you a little bit about recycling, and she's going to talk to you about different products out there, and I think you'll be a little bit shocked at the percentages you see of what's actually recycled. Who here recycles? How much do you recycle? Do you feel comfortable with what you recycle? Do you feel good about it? It's a personal thing. There's no right answer. It comes down to what you feel, and that's what a lot of these companies now are doing, is they're starting to put this together. How do you feel about it? How much money, and are you, because you can't just be environmentally laissez-faire and just, not care if it costs you X number of dollars to do it. Everything's got to make financial sense. Would you have put the lighting in if it cost more? Maybe not. So sustainability, and I hope you take this away today, is the balancing of all this. When you're making decisions, and a lot of times you guys will do this in your personal lives, you think about certain companies and what you think about them. Bernie versus Apple, Apple being a very green company. You think about the finances. Maybe when you pull up to a gas station a couple of months ago, you may have driven past the BP station and went to the mobile station. I don't know. There's certain things that come into play, but this is starting to affect more and more things today, which affect our decisions that we make as consumers, as manufacturing people, and as corporate people. Okay? Any questions on this before we move on?